Luffy Garp live-action plotline was better than you think. Believe it or not, there's a thrilling plot point that you might not have noticed involving none other than Garp, one of the mightiest marines. It's no mere coincidence that he found himself in the East Blue Sea. The truth? He was on a mission to collect Luffy, intending to rope him into the Marines as an apprentice. However, as fate would have it, just when he was about to fetch Luffy, news broke that he had embarked on a pirate's journey. Had Garp arrived just a little earlier, the course of One Piece history could have been drastically different. Luffy might have donned a marine uniform instead of his iconic straw hat. Realizing that a straightforward persuasion wasn't going to work, Garp attempted to enlist Coby's help. Thinking that a friend might convince Luffy to become a fellow marine the same way his friend Shanks did as a pirate. Alas, that approach didn't quite hit the mark. On his second try, Garp called upon Mihawk to try and instill fear in Luffy, making him see the perils of the pirate life. Little did he know that this plan would backfire spectacularly. Instead of scaring Luffy, it ignited the unbreakable camaraderie between Luffy and Zoro. While in pursuit of Luffy, Garp had an encounter with Zeff, and they found themselves discussing the delectable topic of meats. Zeff inquired if he preferred his meat medium rare. But Garp's response, more rare than medium, hinted at their differing perspectives, even before they broached their next conversation topic: are the next generation ready, or not? To Zeff, the next generation, represented by Luffy and Sanji, is like medium rare meat. Not quite well done, but medium rare enough to confront the world and make life-altering decisions. On the other hand, for Garp, the next generation is more rare than medium, indicating that they aren't yet equipped to grasp the consequences of their actions. Now you might say, who are we to judge who's right or wrong? But this conversation may have triggered a realization in Garp's mind. He must ensure that Luffy is well done, or at least close to it. How do you hasten the cooking process of meat? You tenderize it. How do you tenderize meat? You give it a good pounding. On his third and final attempt to transform Luffy into a marine, Garp took matters into his own hands, or more accurately, his knuckles. He gave Luffy quite the beating. Some argue that forcing Luffy to become a marine doesn't match Garp's character, as he's known for his laid-back demeanor and love for freedom. However, I beg to differ. Here's a wild theory: Garp might have regretted the way he raised his son, Dragon. Garp is a devoted marine, a staunch upholder of justice. It's possible that he instilled too much about justice into his son from a young age, leading Dragon to uncover the world's injustices. Realizing that achieving true justice wouldn't align with serving as a marine lapdog to the corrupt celestial dragons, Dragon chose the path of the Revolutionary Army. Garp regretted how he raised Dragon, and when he had the opportunity to raise Luffy, he opted for a more lenient approach. He'd occasionally offer lessons on justice and encourage Luffy to consider a marine's life, but for the most part, he allowed Luffy to roam free. In the end, Luffy's love for freedom was so overwhelming that he set his sights on becoming the freest man in the sea, the Pirate King. Poor Garp. While Garp might have some regrets about how he raised Luffy, he's determined not to regret letting him go without ensuring he's prepared to face the challenges ahead. With every punch, Garp unleashed the full force of his love, delivering Luffy a beating like no other. If there was even a tiny sliver of doubt or fear lingering in Luffy's heart about choosing the pirate's life, Garp was determined to wring it out of him. After the relentless flurry of punches, Luffy emerged battered but unbroken, his dream of becoming the Pirate King still intact. No more regrets. Garp had given it his all to dissuade Luffy from the pirate's path, but he realized that even if Luffy wasn't fully prepared, the young pirate had an unyielding spirit to face whatever challenges lay ahead. What makes this tale even more heart-wrenching is the possibility that he did the same for his other grandson, Ace. I won't drop any spoilers here, but if you know, you know. It's a tale filled with emotion and sacrifice, showcasing the depths of Garp's love for his family. So, does this storyline have you brimming with anticipation for Season 2 of the One Piece live-action series? Can you tell I'm bursting with excitement to witness how they handle the introduction of Ace? Will Ace receive the same Garp treatment, and can we expect more of his epic adventures? Share your thoughts with me, but for now, it's time to wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. Until next time, take care and goodbye.